How's it going, guys? So today we are going to be showing you how we make our pasta sauce. We've got tomatoes, we've got some zucchini. We're going to be going getting a few more zucchini and carrots that we add to our pasta sauce, and then we're using Mrs. Wage's seasoning packets for the flavor profile. So follow along as we go. All right, so we've got our zucchini, carrots, and butternut squash. We're simmering them down until they're soft. That way they can blend with the tomatoes before we mix in the seasoning and simmer it down. So, yeah. All right, so for blanching the tomatoes, we basically just make a slit in the top to cut the top piece off, and then we'll slice an X in the bottom to help with the skin coming off. Once you have those, you'll drop them in the simmering water for probably 30 to 60 seconds. And once you see the skin starting to peel, you'll know it's ready. And from there, you can pretty much just by hand, we peel the skins off. And once they're like this, they'll be ready to blend and go from there. All right, now that we have our vegetables simmered and soft, we're gonna blend them and put them into the pot. So our goal is, between the blended tomatoes, blended vegetables, is about 60 cups of puree, just based on the seasoning packages that we have. So we're gonna go ahead and start scooping them in, blending them, measuring them, and adding them to the pot. All right, so we've got 60 cups. We actually have 70 cups of puree, just because it does simmer down a little bit. But that's 70 cups of the pureed tomatoes, as well as the vegetables. And now we are just gonna add in the seasoning package, which there's 6 of them, and a 1/4 cup sugar per packet. So we'll get the sugar and the seasoning added, and then we'll simmer it for about 30 minutes, and it'll be ready to go. Okay, we are like 7 hours in. My jump is getting less enthusiastic. But we've simmered the pasta sauce. It is ready to go. That's a timer that some of our jars are actually done. We've pulled these jars out of the oven. They were at 170 to stay hot, make sure they don't crack. And now we're gonna fill our jars, get the lids and rings on, and get them in the water bath canner. So one thing you want to make sure of, once you have them filled, we use a wet rag, and you want to wipe the rim to make sure it's completely clean, there's no food or residue on it. And then you'll take your lids, which are also in fairly warm water, and once you have the lid on, the ring you want finger tight. So not too tight, but not too loose. So we've got all our jars loaded. We're going ahead and put it in the water. You just want to make sure that the water is at a rolling boil and that you've got about 1 inch of cover over the top of the lids. Second batch going in. So at our elevation with pint jars, you water bath it for 45 minutes, but you want to check, it depends whether they're pints or quarts, as well as what your elevation is, so you want to check that. Okay guys, that is a wrap. We finished our spaghetti sauce. We ended up with 38 pint jars. It took us pretty much all day. Right at the end we had bought some just cheap off-brand jars and lids, and we found out quickly that the lids were not sealing after watering or bathing them, so that was a real bummer. So we ended up having to swap some of them out for Ball and Kerr brand lids. But yeah, it was a ton of work, but we pretty much are set for the year on our spaghetti sauce, and we are excited to be done and put it in the pantry and finish this project up.